Hey guys, happy Thursday. I'm Ashley Pickens here I'm in Senatobia, Mississippi today, you guys. I have an auction. I had an auction. So I'm at the courthouse. I'm your auction mama. I've been in real estate since 2006 as a real estate agent and a real estate broker. And now I auction at the courthouse. Here we are. Hold on. That's not a really good picture of the courthouse, you guys. There we go. Senatobia, Tate County. I'm always at the courthouse. I am never at the people's house. I know in Connecticut, sometimes they're like, they auction at the house. If I live in Memphis and I'm not auctioning in front of anybody's house, okay? So, courthouse. So, a couple bidders today. This house has been up for auction so many times. Now, the crazy thing about auctions is, you guys, on the public notice, the auction is scheduled from 11 to 4. 11 to 4. So one of the bidders, the guy who won the house, had been out here since 11:45. Y'all, I just got this sale yesterday. Gabby had swim. So I didn't even get out here until like 2 o'clock, right? So he had been out here since 11:45. That's the thing about auctions. Like the scheduled time is from like 11 to 4. So if you don't know the auctioneer, you just kind of chilling at the courthouse, waiting for the auctioneer to show up. But I got here about 2 o'clock. So 2 bidders, the house sold for $1 over. Opening bid was $99,298. Courthouse, front steps, boom. This is where I auction. Sold for $1 over. I guess they had a conversation. They talked to each other, and one of the ladies who was coming to bid didn't bid after they had their conversation. So he got it for $1 over. And so just remember that. Be mindful on that notice. The time for the auction is literally like 11 to 4. So you might be camping out all day at the courthouse if you're looking to bid. You know what I mean? So unless you know the auctioneer, make friends with the auctioneer and find out what time they come into the courthouse. So he waited all day. He's been here all day. But anyway, you guys, just keep that in mind. Always do your due diligence before you bid. It's cars driving by looking at me crazy. Do your due diligence before you bid. Here's the courthouse. You guys, do your due diligence. Check the title. Drive by the property. The guy said that people still live in this house and they are like some hoarders. And I was like, good luck with that. Because keep in mind, you're bidding blind. You don't get to see the inside of the property. You're bidding sight unseen, you guys. And it's cash in the full amount. I don't give out refunds. I don't give out deeds. And I don't give out keys. So if there's a refund, it's going to come in the mail. Within maybe 30 days or so, you'll get your refund in the mail. So let's jump into some real estate market news, and just wanted to show you courthouse auction mama working today. Hey guys, so let's jump into foreclosure numbers. We are at the mid-year for 2024. We're at the halfway point for 2024. So let's see what cities, states have the highest foreclosure rates, most foreclosure starts, and the most REOs right now. So let's jump into it, you guys. But first of all, let me say, y'all know these numbers. I believe it's a lot of people who are behind on their mortgage who just aren't in foreclosure. Honestly, I had a lady call me who bought her house in 2022. And you guys, that lady ain't never paid a mortgage payment. Think about people who bought in 2021, 2022. What was going on right then? We had just come out of COVID and we were under an eviction moratorium. Lenders were not foreclosing on people, right? So if you bought your house in 2021, 2022, you guys, you could literally have bought a house and not made a single mortgage payment. Because it was 2022, you put your house right up under that moratorium and you chilling in your new house. And the lady called me yesterday, bought in 2022, hadn't paid in 2 years. So that moratorium saved a lot of people, right? So like I said, everybody who calls me is a year, 2 years, 3 years behind. We have a lot of people who have not paid since COVID. Y'all, we going on 5 years since COVID. So let's jump in. We got a total of 177,431 properties are currently somewhere in the foreclosure process right now for the second half of 2024. Don't forget foreclosure, we've got about 3 phases. Usually that homeowner gets behind on their mortgage 3 months, right? But most people behind 3 years. 3 months, that notice of default is filed, the auction is scheduled, and then the bank repossesses that property. And if you come to my masterclass, you know, if the property goes up for auction and it does not sell at auction, What is it called, you guys? It's called an REO property. It will revert back to the bank and become an REO. So let's jump in to what's going on. Right now, states that saw the greatest increase in foreclosure activity compared to a year ago, we've got South Dakota up 93%, North Dakota up 86%. I always say this, y'all. First of all, any increase. Okay, so we stopped foreclosures for a long time, for years, right? We literally just started back foreclosing since COVID. So any increase, like even if it's when you go from 0 to 10 properties, right? That looks like a drastic increase. So when I see North Dakota and South Dakota on the list, they probably got 10. Shout out to everybody in North Dakota. No shade. No shade to the ND and the SD. North Dakota and South Dakota. But what I'm saying is when I see their numbers up 93%, they probably went from 0 to like 5 properties. And that's like, oh, we got a foreclosure wave going on over there, right? So South Dakota is up 93%. North Dakota is up 86%. Kentucky is up 73%. Massachusetts is up 46%. And Idaho is up 30%. So those were the states that saw the greatest increase in foreclosures. I feel like all of those barely have any. They don't have a huge, I mean, Massachusetts, Kentucky, but South Dakota, North Dakota, you know what I'm saying? So for them to be up 93%, and all these numbers are gonna look extreme, especially since we haven't foreclosed in so long, you know? So states with the highest foreclosure rates in the first half of 2024 were New Jersey, 0.21% of housing units with foreclosure filings. Illinois is on the list. Florida, shout out to Florida. You know what I mean? Florida, y'all always gonna be on the list. Florida, Texas, and California, always gonna be on the list. Always. Nevada and South Carolina. South Carolina is on our state to watch list. That is like a hot spot. Spartanburg and Columbia, South Carolina. What's going on, South Carolina? We got our eye on you, South Carolina. We on South Carolina and South Dakota. Other states with first half foreclosure rates among the 10 highest nationwide were Maryland, Connecticut, Delaware, Ohio, and Indiana. Okay, let's talk about highest metro foreclosure rate cities. Let's jump into cities. Lakeland, Florida, baby. Florida, I'm telling y'all. And y'all know I love Florida because, baby, I'm going to get my foreclosure property for $23.72. Like, the bank is not going to play with me. If y'all going to sell y'all notes to hedge funds, y'all better let me get my beachfront property for $23.22. You know what I mean? So, Lakeland, Florida, Columbia, South Carolina, Atlantic City, New Jersey, Cleveland, Ohio, and Spartanburg, South Carolina. Columbia and Spartanburg, South Carolina. Check in, South Carolina. What's going on there? Y'all taxes high? Everybody's taxes high. Life is high. Just food, gas, water, electricity. The temperature outside is hot. That's high too. So everything high. Other major metro areas with foreclosure rates ranking among the top 10 highest in the first half of 2024. Jacksonville, Florida, Bakersville, California, Elkhart, Indiana, Orlando, Florida, and Chicago, Illinois. All right, let's talk about foreclosure starts. Like I said, it's usually the homeowner gets behind on their mortgage 3 months. It's more than that right now. And then they file that notice of default, notice of sale, depending on where you are. If you live in a judicial state or a non-judicial state, you know, it all depends. So a total of 130,369 U.S. properties started the foreclosure process in the first 6 months of 2024, down 3.5% from the first half of last year. Because these banks is not foreclosing on these people. Like I said, we're not going to see a foreclosure wave until we get through this election, right? That is not going to happen. If they got to stop everybody mortgage, if they if they got to put the housing market on their back and carry it, baby, we are not going to have a foreclosure wave until after the election, okay? So govern yourselves accordingly. Let me say that. So states that saw the greatest number of foreclosure starts in the first half of 2024 We've got Texas with 15,375 foreclosure starts. Next up is Florida with 15,251 starts. California with 14,964 foreclosure starts. New York with 7,523. And Illinois with 7,240 foreclosure starts. Let's jump into REOs. You guys, and I know it's a lot of people who watch me, like investors and people in foreclosure. You guys, I'm telling you, if you are a homeowner behind on your mortgage, you need to take this time, because these banks really aren't foreclosing. They really are not, unless you are just super behind, right? That's what I feel like. Y'all know I work the auctions, so a lot of my auctions have been postponed. They've been canceled. Like, banks are really trying to give you a chance to do what you got to do, because they really don't want your house, right? Because they just gonna sell them to Blackstone and all these other hedge funds. You know what I mean? That's how I know I'm gonna get my property, right? For $19.23, right on the beach. So let's talk about bank repossessions. These are REOs. So if your auction mama cannot sell it at the auction because nobody wants it, because a homeowner bought it in the last 2 years, right? And if you bought your house in the last 2 years, you owe that whole loan, right? You don't even have time to knock anything off their principal, interest, taxes, or insurance, right? So a lot of times I'll auction off a property, the opening bid is too high, and it will revert back to the bank. That is called an REO. So let's jump into that. Lenders foreclosed, REO, on a total of 18,726 U.S. properties in the first 6 months of 2024, down 17% from the first half of 2023. Because y'all, look, they're not trying to foreclose on these people. They are not, I'm trying to tell you. But up 92% from the first half of 2021. Of course, because we were under an eviction moratorium, right? They weren't foreclosing on nobody in 2021 and 2022. So states that posted the greatest number of REOs in the first half of 2024 included California with 1,575 REOs, Pennsylvania with 1,568 properties going back to the bank, Illinois 1,540, Michigan with 1,432, and Texas with 1,197. Where do you find REO properties, you guys? If you watch me, you know what I'm about to tell you. HUD Home Store, right? HUDhomestore.gov, homepath.com, homesteps.com. The VA REO website is V as in Victor, rmproperties.com. Those are veteran VA properties that are REOs, like bank-owned VA properties. Don't forget, with REO properties, you can use traditional financing, right? So conventional, FHA, depending on the depending on the condition, you might have to do an FHA 203K loan. But REO properties, you can use traditional financing. You can get an inspection. You can put down earnest money. You can back out of that deal if you don't want it, right? And negotiate. Everybody knows that is my top thing when you are buying from the bank. Negotiate with the bank, right? Because they be hitting us with all these fees, right? And if they can sell their notes to Blackstone, BlackRock, whatever it is, for like 38 cents on the dollar, baby, y'all better negotiate with the bank. Ask for repairs, ask for appliances, ask for a fence, ask for whatever you want to ask for. Closing costs, ask for all of it. Lowball them. All right, so states with the longest average foreclosure timelines for homes foreclosed in Q2 2024 were Louisiana. 3,686 days is the average foreclosure timeline. 3,686 days. Hawaii, 2,597 days. Somebody do the math. Divide by 365. That's like 5 years, isn't it? New York, 2,034 days. Georgia, 1,929 days. And Nevada with 1,852 days in foreclosure. Baby, let me tell you something. If you are behind on your mortgage, y'all, they are giving you time. If you can't afford your mortgage, look, if you have done a modification, refinance, forbearance, everything that you could possibly do. If you can't afford your mortgage, sell your house. Sell it. You know what I mean? Just sell it. If you got some equity, take the money, pay up somewhere to live and live, right? Like, y'all know what I'm saying. Do what's best for you. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't worry about what people gonna say. I just bought my house 2 years ago. I can't. Look, if you can't afford it, y'all been trying to date that rate. You know what I mean? Date the rate. That's what they said. Date the rate, marry the house. Baby, y'all go together if you've been dating that rate, because it has not gone down. And as long as y'all been dating, y'all go together. Right? So if you struggling because you thought the rate was going to down, if you're struggling with the mortgage payment, if you lost your job, you lost a loved one, you know what I mean? You just lost your finances. Do what's best for you, right? Do what's best for you, because you're the only one paying that mortgage. That's what I always say. At the end of the day, after you get your keys and you hold that sign that says, I love my realtor, I love my mortgage, it's going to be you and your mortgage and your bank account. Trust me. So if you can't pay it, you know what I mean? Just cut your losses, you know what I mean? And do what's best for you, right? So those states with the shortest average foreclosure timelines are New Hampshire with 82 days, Texas with 147 days, Minnesota with 51 days, Oregon with 206 days, and Montana with 212 days. And I know the difference is probably with judicial states versus non-judicial states. That can increase the timeline depending on where you are. And, a lot of things. People just, I don't feel like the banks are trying to give you a chance, right? So, again, nothing gonna happen until after this election, right? So if you're a homeowner, do what you gotta do, right? Don't worry about what other people saying. If you know you can't afford that mortgage and taxes and insurance and HOA and condo fees and you know what I mean, hurricanes and all that is going on around you, do what you got to do, right? And price it accordingly. Price it accordingly, because the market is kind of dry right now. So you're going to be sitting on the market. Don't you try to outrun an auction. That's what I say to everybody. Do not try to outrun an auction. Get on the phone with your lender and tell them you want to sell your house, and they might postpone your auction. Okay? That's what you do. So you guys, there's the numbers. There they are. That's what we got going on right now. First half of 2024, we're at the mid-year point. You guys, the numbers still aren't, like, I seen the numbers be ridiculous before COVID, right? So they're still giving people a chance. If you were behind on your mortgage, you guys, communicate with your lender, explore all of your options, right? Explore all of your options. If your property goes up for auction, right? Request your excess funds. What are your excess funds? Whatever that opening bid is, usually your loan amount, right? So anything over that loan amount, say the opening bid is $150,000, right? If your property gets bid up to $200,000, you can request that $50,000. That goes back to you. You got to request it because, baby, you know these banks ain't just finna volunteer and give you your money, okay? Call them and find out and get your coins. You know what I mean? So request your excess funds. That is what it is called, okay? So you either need to ask your lender or ask that attorney that represents your lender. If you are in foreclosure, you know who I'm talking about because they done sent you all kind of mail, okay? All that certified funds, that's who you call, okay? So you guys, that is what we have going on. Shout out to all the new subscribers. We hit 20,000 subscribers. Thank you, you guys. I'm glad. I'm trying to be more consistent and come on here and upload videos, right? But I've got auctions and all that kind of stuff. Shout out to everybody in the mentorship. Y'all, we are rolling in the mentorship, right? And if you got the letters and you're mailing people, homeowners in distress like I do, and offer your assistance, you know, because a lot of people just don't know. I go and talk to like the homeowners, the housing assistance programs here in Memphis, right? When they're about to sign up and get a house and they got to go through that class, baby, I come through like the Grim Reaper, right? Because I'm talking about foreclosure. But it's true. A lot of people don't. You talk about buying the house and pre-approval and all that. But what if you can't pay that mortgage? Most people have no idea what to do. That's why people just walk away, because they're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, right? So I go and talk to people and kind of educate them on that process. So if you reach out to homeowners in distress and you need some letters to what to send, all the links are down below. The mentorship is running all the way through September, because so many of y'all have reached out to me about it. So it went from 12 weeks to 16 weeks. That link is down below. Sorry, y'all. I've been talking. I'm out of breath. That link is down below. You can still join the mentorship, you guys. I am on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley on Instagram. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm probably going to go live tonight. It is Thursday. If you missed the live tonight, just look under the lives. On my channel, look under the lives and you can catch all of them. I am usually live on Sundays, 8 p.m. Central Time. Whew, there it is, you guys. Those are the numbers for the midway point. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.